there goes my mom and dad. Went up to, I believe this was on Martha's Vineyard. Drove up there and took the ferry in a little white BMW 2002. Back in probably 1970, 77 maybe. That's my mom and her mom and grandma. Or I should say Mutti und meine große Mutti, but we would just call my grandmother Mutti, even though that just means mom in German. We'd call her Mutti, and I call my mom Mom. And wow, this looks like the house when we first moved into it in 1983. Wow, look at that. My dad took pictures of everything. We had a Facebook. When we moved in here, they had a wood burner. There was a wood burning stove here. And every morning at 5 a.m., I would get up and chop wood and then help my dad chainsaw it, cut it up, and then throw it in that stove until it was molten hot, red hot. And this is my grandparents on my German side in India. And you can see my mom, she's a little girl there, and that's her sister. And they were born in a prison camp after being in India for almost 7 years, traveling around as a doctor. He was not in any way affiliated with the Nazi Party, but he had the immigration stamp of an eagle holding a swastika. And the British, because India was British controlled in the British Empire, threw them in a conjugal living situation inside a camp for a while, where my grandmother, pictured here, gave birth to her 2 daughters, my mom and her sister. Only person alive here is the little baby in Santa Barbara. And as you can see here, they are quite young and not smiling, because actually they are in a type of jail situation. I'm not really sure how he was able to facilitate the conjugal visits, but I think after a while he realized that they were not bad people, and he was not some kind of war criminal in any way. That's my mom and me. That's a little baby in Mount Vernon. This is my father's mother, that they're receiving a degree and going to the United Nations to help them with some type of Italian cultural projects. Here's my grandfather, it looks like. I think that, I'm confused who else is there. There's another Pete with Debbie and her daughter. Beautiful. And here goes a cool picture of my mom and dad smiling and laughing. It looks like in my grandma's house. Very long time ago. Actually, this looks like it was in my father's mother's house when they had first met, like in 1960. They're very old pictures. Yeah, so here's my dad. He must have been, I want to say, let's say, he was probably 20, 21 right there. And we've had a lot of different little notes and stuff. We're finding I'll share these later. Interesting stuff. Here's some nice photos of me. Oh, no, that's my dad, and it looks like Gertz and my mom and Jeremy in my grandma's house. Here's my dad checking out the big bill painting. There's a little counterfeit money operation going on there with this printer. Nice little card from Debbie. It's these beautiful cards that she made over the years. Thank you, Debbie. It was such a nice thing to send him all these beautiful little things that she would send. Okay, we have a bunch of different things going on here. Alright, great picture of Debbie. And, let's see what else we got here with the little hidden ones. Okay, that's looks like my grandma, dad's mom, Lucy. Here's a nice picture of my mom standing in front of a tree. It's the balcony in Valdesh in Germany. My grandparents, and I think that's from Mensch or from Maya. I'm not sure. This is one of my favorite pictures in the whole world. That's me and my mom. Really cool pictures. Dad was great at photography. It's my mom, one of her students. It's my mom at work. She loved her job. Didn't pay too much, but she loved teaching kids art. And here we go, nice picture of Andrea Appleton, Colorado. And this is my mom as a little girl. And in Germany, they give you these little cones that are wrapped up with little treats and candy and all sorts of little goodies. There's a big smile on her face. This is my mama as a little girl. I'm not sure how old she was exactly. Okay, and then there's another baby pic. This is me and Andrea Appleton. Her father is my godfather, and I believe her mother is my godmother. We are split, separated. I think Andrea still lives out west. I can't remember her name. This is my dad when he was about 16 years old. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is my dad. He was about 26 years old. And here's an interesting photograph of my grandmother, Mutsi, my mother's mother. And I believe that's Anya. I can't remember. Here's a picture of my dad with the famous artist, Kiki Smith. I believe she's also German. Kiki Smith is a famous artist, and my dad was a famous artist and is very well deserving of recognition. And it's an interesting photo of him with Kiki Smith. I wish he had received some fame in his lifetime, but he was still a very happy person. All the fame and the money won't bring him back. Here's him with Jasmine from Mexico. Such a beautiful girl, wonderful girl. I wonder what happened to her, if she's okay. This, it seems, is my mom and my dad's father. And here's another one of those pics. Let's see what else we got here. We got so many loose ones that I found. This is the house looking a little messy here. Let's see what we got here. Oh, these are some students of his over the years. Wow. And this is a flock of seagulls, and it looks like we're going to just be seeing a whole bunch of flock of seagulls here. And yeah, that's pretty much that you're going to see there. So moving on, we got a whole bunch more photos loose, as you can see. All these photos over there, just waiting to be photographed and uploaded and documented. This was my mom after having the upper left lobe of her lung removed and chemotherapy. Her hair grew back curly, and it was quite a lot of pain. This is me and my mom before she had cancer. This was back in the 90s when I was living in France and working in Versailles and the surrounding area of Paris. She came to visit me. I believe we're standing out some type of cathedral. If that's not Notre Dame, I don't know what it is. Maybe it is, but it's not. That's myself and my first wife, Geraldine. Here's a picture of me in Germany with my grandmother and Andreas and my mom holding the hand of my grandfather who had suffered a stroke. He spoke 7 languages fluently, as well as about 12 other dialects. And the stroke left him paralyzed, unable to speak, except for like a gibberish, like a kind of sound. It was so heartbreaking because every time he saw me, he would light up and grab my hand and just keep talking to me, sometimes for an hour and a half, in a totally incomprehensible type of slurring, but lots of intense eye contact. And later in life, he was kind of intubated, and they had resuscitated him, and he was essentially became like a vegetable, kind of brain dead for a long time. It was actually quite cruel. He shortly after his 80th birthday, they found at the bottom of the stairs he had a stroke, so he had to remain in his library like this, with a catheter in his penis and oxygen in his nose for a very long time. And my grandmother did the best she could to take care of him, and it was just really heartbreaking to see my grandfather like that. And as a young man, I think at the time in this picture, I wanted to say I was 12 years old. I would run a lot. I did a lot of cross country running, and spent a lot of time in my grandfather's library, which you can see behind me. This is where I learned so many things about science and stuff. I had 4 PhDs. So, and here's my mom, and it looks like a little bit of a late night with my grandma. And again, this is the library as it had been cleared out. Most as you see, all the books were gone after my grandfather passed away. My grandmother let the fraternity come in and take the books. So this is here, my grandparents' house in Germany. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful. Dog there. Grandma Mutti over here. I'm trying to find the year. Okay, so this was after her birthday. This was January of 2000 already, that right there. And this is right across the street from the house. This is why I never wanted to sell the house, because it was such a beautiful resort area, Valdesh, with a hotel, restaurant, cafe right next to the balcony of the house. Couldn't find a nicer house in Germany anywhere, and this is the type of delicious things we would eat, and this is what it would look like in Germany. I don't know what's going on in that picture. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, so we got some more. This is a great picture. Shows you the difference between my grandparents on my German side and my dad's mom on the right. My dad's mom, very Catholic, conservative, looking like from the far side. Not a happy woman. No offense, rest in peace, Grandma. And then Mutti, my favorite, she's in the middle, looking very, very classy and sophisticated and pretty and beautiful and all the other things that go into making a great mom. And then there's my very, very stoic grandfather, Dr. Kurt Saltner on the left there. This is little Anna in a Jambanco. And my dad, great pic here.